Hey guys, so I'm gonna show you how to get the song looping work for the songs on the Harmony of Despair modding. First thing you're gonna need is Audacity. It's what's gonna give you access to tools you need to find out what samples you need to loop to, and it's got some editing. It lets you make it easier to just get things going. So go ahead and get Audacity. So right here in the top left corner, get it installed. Um, and then just grab whatever music that you're trying to loop or want to convert over to Harmony of Despair. What I normally do is I just find something on YouTube. You can use it's called the Xbox gaming feature on the PC to record the window, and it'll let you just record the video sound. You can use that, and then you can actually throw the video file straight into Audacity. So I already recorded one. I'm gonna do Divine Bloodlines from Smash Bros. Ultimate. So this one. But yeah. Um, so let me go ahead and drag that in right here. And you can, like I said, you can just drag it into Audacity and it'll put the whole thing in there. First thing you want to do is come down here and remove the silence at the beginning, because there's always going to be silence at the beginning of these all at the beginning of these sound clips, just because you're recording it and then going to do something else. So best thing to do is just remove it. So you just highlight the section that's doesn't have any waveforms on it and just delete it. Uh, it's probably going to be really loud, so let me just turn it down. Audacity tends to be really loud when you play things, so oh, it's actually not that loud. Take that back. Um, I think if I remember right, this slider right here doesn't actually affect the volume. It just affects the sound. It affects the volume of it when you're playing it in Audacity, but it doesn't actually affect the volume when you save the file. So this slider right here changes the volume on it. You add or remove gain to it. But how I have it right here, I could just take this and throw it straight into Harmony of Despair, but it's not going to loop properly. If I wanted to loop properly, I have to find a good loop point for it. I recorded this up to a little bit over my good loop point. I also know here at the end, I believe there's like a Discord ping that went off, so I also need to remove that from the end real quick, so let me find that. And I will start looping it. It may or may not have actually recorded it. Okay, cool. So it didn't record the Discord ping that I got. So that's awesome. So what we want to do then is you want to find a good part to loop from. I already know that this one, the song loops at around 2 minutes and goes back to, I want to say here. So yeah, right around here. Should do the same thing. So what I want to do is try to trim it to a point where it's going to loop seamlessly. I'm gonna take it from right here and just cut off the rest of it because I don't need all that. So now this is going to end right there. Actually, let me go a little bit further out. So it should, yeah. Um, so Audacity also has this really nice feature where you can highlight a section of the song, and when you hit, oh, not space, if you was it hold shift or hold control? I don't remember. There's a you can click the loop button and it'll loop from whatever's in this point. So if I move it to the end of the song, it should loop back over here. I think I just actually got it perfectly looped right there, but I want to I want to loop it a little further in. So unfortunately, I can't keep that. So I'm gonna take this loop point. I don't know how I keep getting perfect loops like that. That doesn't happen very often. But yeah, it's a seamless loop again. But generally what you want to do is you want to kind of take a look at the waveform. Let me pause it. You want to take a look at the waveform and find like a similar spot on it. So you had that part where it closed in and then opened back up. You got 1, 2, 3 spikes, and then where I have the loop at is right before the 4th spike. So if you go back to the end of it where the other loop is, you have that part where it pinches off and opens back up. We got 1 spike, 2 spike, 3 spikes, and then right before the 4th spike is where it loops up. So what I'm going to do here, since I have a perfect loop, is if you hover the cursor over where your loop point's at, it's going to give you this yellow line, and if you highlight and drag from that yellow line, it's actually going to start it at your loop point. So you can cut off everything after the loop point. And then where are we? You want to zoom out a little bit so you can see it. I'm going to highlight everything from the loop point forward. What we need to do that for is we're trying to find out which sample we need to loop back to. If you look down here at the bottom of the window, it shows you the start sample and the end sample of what you have highlighted right now. We don't care about the end of the sample. All we care about is the start of the sample, or not the sample, the start of the highlighted section. So 383271. Just write that down somewhere. Let me write it down on a piece of paper. But yeah, you want to take a note of what sample you're going to loop back to. That way it loops properly in the song. 383271. Your version of Audacity may not have this set to samples. It might be set to seconds. All you gotta do is click this arrow right here and just change it to samples, because that's what you're looking for. But since I have everything set up for it, after I take this the sample point, I've already got the end of the song cut off. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this and export it as a .wav. Where are we? Yeah, so I already have it set to go to the actual conversion, like the folder that I'm doing. So I'm just gonna name it Bloodlines so I know what it is. Drag that in here so you can see it. It's gonna ask you all this. Just hit OK. It doesn't matter. And then once that's done, you can go ahead and go into the WAV to MSF tool that I put together for you. I saved Bloodlines into this folder just now, so it's already going to be in there. MSF should have nothing in it. But what you're going to do is you're going to go to convert.bat, and then it's going to ask you the questions. I already have my MSF folder empty, so I'm going to say no. This is a single file or a batch. This is a single, so put S. This is going to loop, so put yes. And then it lists what's in the .wav folder right here, so you can actually see what you need to type in. I'm just going to put Bloodlines, and this is where you put your starting sample. This is where it's going to loop back to. It's that number you took note of a few minutes ago. So 383271. And then it's just going to ask you to confirm. Yeah, you're converting the Bloodlines file with a loop at 383271, yes. It's going to go ahead and convert that to what you want. That's done. It's going to close itself. And now you have your converted MSF file. You can throw it wherever you want in your HD. I'm going to show you where to look for it, but yeah. So in your emulator folder, you're going to have a dev underscore HDD0 folder. You want to go in there. You're going to go to game. NPU B30505 is Harmony of Despair. You're going to go to USR directory, data, and then you're going to look for sound. And then this is where all of the game's sounds are stored. Right now I'm only worried about background music. This is the title screen. If you want to change the title screen music, go ahead. Background music 1-1, that's chapter 1. It's whatever the first song for chapter 1 is. I have something on there already, so I'm just gonna go in here, rename it real quick. Put underscore hold. That way, file's still there. I'm gonna rename it though, because we do need to rename our Bloodlines file to whatever the file is in the game. So I'm going to drag that in there, rename this to that, and then whenever the emulator launches the game, it's going to run our new file instead of whatever was there before. So let me go ahead and attempt to show you. I don't know if the recording is going to work properly, but we'll see. Game might lag a little bit. Oh, I already have RPS3 open. Okay. So yeah. Go ahead and run the game. Hopefully it doesn't crash my computer. I did turn up the music because the other song that I had was pretty low. I might want to turn it down a little bit. I don't know how loud this is going to be. Just turn the music down. Generally, you want to make these sound files pretty loud, because when you put them into the game, they get really, really quiet. I put it over chapter 1, And I only have one song set to chapter 1, so it should play what I just looped. There you go, there's Bloodlines. Pretty easy. It is kind of quiet though. Like I said, you wanna make these pretty loud because they the volume for these songs already starts off really loud. Kill these zombies. It's going to loop again at around. You look at the timer on the top right. It's gonna loop at around 28 minutes. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of gameplay while we're waiting. It's gonna loop in a few seconds. Get these fleamen out of here. There you go. There's that seamless loop. You didn't even know it looped. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. It's really just finding those loop points and getting them to sound seamless. You just gotta know what to look for. If you have any questions about the program or anything, just let me know. See what I can do to help you. So, good luck.